We're taking the local bus today, the West Bus. We have nowhere to go, nowhere to be. We're just gonna...
No idea where we're going.
Last episode was a special one, not because of the escapade around Denarau, not the mouth-watering fruit we found, or the delicious kava drink. It was because...
Call our family in the middle of the night and let them know we're having a boy!
That's right, the greatest adventure, the biggest journey we will ever embark on. No sailing can ever top off the blessing of bringing new life into this world. That's right, our Alivo crew is growing from 2 to 3, and his name will be Finn Daniel McGuire. Life is going to change a lot around here, but we are not giving up on our sailing dreams of circumnavigation. We now just have an extra set of hands on deck to help us. So thank you for all your support and love from everyone. As you know, our videos are a few months behind currently, and we are back in California, just a few weeks shy of Finn taking his first few breaths of fresh air. So thanks for your patience as we learn to become great parents, and we hope you enjoy catching up to where we currently are by enjoying all the adventures still left to show you of beautiful Fiji and, of course, the jaw-dropping New Zealand. Before we get there, well, let's just say today it feels like everything is breaking, but I guess that's pretty standard on a sailboat. So let's dive in and uncover the inner struggles of a Alivo.
I think we're in the clear, so I can say it now. This always gives me such bad anxiety when you're kind of facing some gnarly wind and you got a reef right here. Look at that. Like if our motor died, we'd get dragged into that reef real quickly.
Okay, so I wasn't the only one that was thinking about that. Okay, I was like, probably they need to stop panicking. Our motor's fine, everything's fine. I definitely was thinking.
Both of us were too scared to say it, but we were both thinking it. But now we're in the clear.
We're not in the clear, so just
we're in the
stop
clear.
it.
We could sail out of this if we had to.
So we are just on the opposite side of Musket Cove. Musket Cove is on that side. We decided to anchor here for just 2 nights because normally we have the southeastern leaves, but it was coming more southern, and so we thought Musket Cove was going to get hit really hard. So we just decided to tuck back here, which actually ended up being pretty great. Connor's not feeling super well, so we've been taking it really easy. So that's always really nice, especially for a pregnant lady. It was really nice just to relax. Today cleaned the bottom of Alivo, and Connor's still playing around with our water maker because it still has pretty high ppm, so we've been running the water maker for a while, trying to see if we can get anything that's maybe gunked up in there, and just crossing our fingers it's not the membrane. And yeah, this is a gorgeous spot. We've had it all to ourselves. During the day, there has been like occasionally one tour that comes here to do like a snorkel. I did see this morning a panga just drop off a couple and let them just have the whole beach to themselves. We're gonna get to hopefully fixing this. Connor lost that little red thing that was keeping the air in, so you know, always something to do on a boat. But it's a gorgeous day. We got these new surf hats. Connor and I both got one that are like super breathable and really nice, so feeling protected from the sun, so ready to start a good day.
Well, things have been going kind of badly lately, so I haven't been filming much. I've just been a little too frustrated to even explain all my problems, but yeah, basically, I think I've told you guys the water maker has been really struggling, and I keep thinking I figured it out, and then it keeps bumping back up to a high ppm, and just really still struggling trying to get it under 500 ppm. And we just need it for another month until we get to New Zealand, and then I think I've come to the conclusion I'm just going to get new membranes when we come back after the year of sitting on the hard. It's going to be worth it just to start fresh. So I just need it for an extra month, so I'm not really willing to put in too much work, but I do want to do a little bit of work. That's the first issue, most life-threatening issue. The other issue, which I'm sure we've addressed already, is this dinghy. We put a big hole in it about that big right there, and we got one patch over it, and then we did another patch over it, so it's kind of double sealed, and it was working pretty well. Got us in and out of Denarau a few times, and then as I was trying to fix it, because it was leaking just a little bit, this little valve for right here on the front section of the dinghy, that little red part kept popping out. So I thought I'd try and fix it, and then I ended up dropping that red part in the ocean and never to be seen again. And that is what kind of holds the seal in from the back side of that valve. So now I got to come up with a new solution. It's impossible to get that out, the old basket out of there, without cutting a hole in the dinghy and then patching it up again, which I just did. So I'm not doing that again. So our current solution is so that red part's supposed to go on the tip of this, the tip of that with a little spring on it, and then it holds that in to the back and then kind of closes that valve. So I don't know, we'll see if I can jerry rig something up. When you're trying to fix things because you lost a part, sometimes you got to ask yourself if that part was worth trying to recreate or if the idea is worth trying to recreate. So what I'm going to do now is I just am trying to recreate the idea, because that part was a little silly anyways, obviously. That's why it was falling off. So what I just did here, you guys probably can't see that, I put 2 little holes across this little guy with this tiny little drill bit that I had, that I think I got a long time ago for making jewelry or something. Yeah. Now we'll see what I can do with that. My idea is I'm going to put the spring on there, and I'm going to shove some tiny tie wire through that hole and fix it to the spring, and then good as new, hopefully. So I got them through, and it's holding the spring down and holding that seal shut. So I think that's pretty much going to work. So what I did is I'm going to put one underneath one ring of the spring and one over, and then tie wire the over under together on both sides, and that should hold that spring in place without allowing it to come off or down too far. Seems like it works. As I tried to tidy it up, the spring ended up getting a little bit ugly, but it still appears to be doing its job. So we'll go test it with the pump. Works. But I just tried it with the other little cap covers this, and it does push this open a little bit because I have this little bit of tie wire hanging off right here. So I'm going to try and tidy that up, see if I can bend that down or snip it off without ruining everything. But I think we're in business here. And my little grabber arm comes in handy once again to grab that little basket out of there, and we'll screw this thing on. And the one YouTube I watched on this put a little grease on there, so I figured that's a good idea. Put some on there and some on there, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you how I screw this in, but pretty self-explanatory. And I never thought a full dinghy would never make me so happy, but it's holding there. I didn't pump it fully up because this is only maybe 30-hour-old 5200 around here, so we want to give that a little bit of time, but I wanted to get it to shape and test this valve. And as far as I can tell, everything appears to be holding air. The only issue with my little fix here is that with that little red button, it ends up pushing in that valve a little bit more, so that allows a little easier airflow. So it's a little harder to pump up, but it doesn't leak, so we'll call that a win. We popped our dinghy, and now we're just waiting for it to kind of dry up and get everything set. We still have this little dinghy to play with, and it is max of 10 horsepower on here, and we have an 18 horsepower motor, so it's a little bit wild of a ride here. So I figured I'd just take you guys for a little bit of a ride, and we'll see why you're not supposed to put an 18 horsepower motor on a 10 horse max dinghy. This thing's super light and just kind of goes crazy. It's a little bit scary. I don't think I've hit in full throttle the whole time, but I'm scared. So thank you, Gavin and McKay, Sailing Vessel Kit, for allowing us to use your spare dinghy. Seriously, a lifesaver. I don't know what we've done without you. We'd be starving here on the boat, couldn't even get provisions. Maybe on the paddleboard. Or swim. But that's no fun. Thank you guys.
Thankfully, we didn't have one of these happening today on Alivo.
Meanwhile, here's a representation of the water maker struggles. I've been having to run and fill 3 of these bins with water before I can even get close to the 500 ppm mark. So, got all these set up. And then when those are full, I do run them through. If I am able to run the water maker directly to the tank, I will run that through the tank. And then I end up running these bins back through at the final rinse, and we get super low ppm water out of that. And it also just kind of flushes the whole system, so I don't have to use as much of our good water to flush the entire RO system. So it's directed into the tank now. Woohoo! And we're making free water right now, so things are looking up.
But we have found ourselves back on the boat, and I decided to put us to work because we're going to New Zealand soon. And we need to figure out what we're bringing, what we're leaving, all the ins and outs of that ordeal. And then while we're doing that, oh gosh. Uh-oh. What happened? The water stopped running.
So we've had a hell of a month here. We ripped our sail, we popped our dinghy, we messed up the dinghy again another way, and then we just got all that back together. Oh, and the water maker wasn't working proper either. And everything just finally came back together, and now just our water supply pump went out. So we're sitting here with the boat all torn apart, and now I gotta tear it apart even more. So that's fun. And this thing actually kind of seemed like it wasn't working a long time ago. I think somehow some water kind of seeped past this and got into this part. This is an accumulator tank, and it's supposed to go like this, and you kind of pressurize this end of it, so then that sends kind of a pressure to the water pump to keep it from going off too frequently. Now it's not going off at all, so not sure what exactly is happening, but I took that apart, the little pressure switch on the water pump, and that seems to be working. But this one, this was all full of water up above this, and it's supposed to be air pressure. So just thought I'd show you what these look like on the inside. And it does seem to be airtight still.
Is that clean?
It's cleanish.
Cleanish. Yay.
Alright, so we'll put it back together and hopefully we're good. But it's literally the most frustrating thing because all we have to do is make it one more month and then we're taking a break from the boat for a whole year and all of the important things are falling apart on us in this last month. And they've all lasted us so well this entire time, but not this month.
And then when we went into town yesterday, I left our kind of like compostable veggies and fruit, and there was like a mango. And when we came back, there was cockroaches all over.
Oh, good. We were having a bad day.
We don't know what to do. And we keep getting them peanut butter and honey and poison, and they don't want that at all.
They're not falling for it.
They're not
These guys
falling
are
for it.
smart.
It just keeps getting better and better.
I'm trying to do this methodically like you would do a car tire or anything with a gasket on it, where you would kind of do a star pattern or, you know, opposite sides and then kind of keep going. But I kind of lost track and I think we're looking good. It's working again and it's actually quieter than it's been, so that's good. And what it ended up being is this little breaker. I should have caught this right away, but it flicks a little too easy, so it wasn't holding, even though it was in the on position. I checked the voltage a couple times and it was working, and then a couple times and it wasn't working, so I ended up just switching it to one that we don't use anymore, and now it's working good. But now that means I have a whole nother project for New Zealand. I'm gonna rewire this whole panel and put all new breakers on it. Yay!
Thanks for MacGyvering through a few projects with us. Come along next week for a beautiful reward. It's time to explore some northern islands, and this one, where Castaway was filmed, did not disappoint. Monterey Island was jaw-dropping, but not only for its beauty, we also get lost hiking, so our jaws were dropping a little, thinking we would end up like Tom Hanks in Castaway. So come along next episode to find out if we find a live-oat or if we have to build a help me sign. We want to give a huge thank you to all our supporters. We so appreciate you and are amazed at your generosity. If you want to also help support our journey, check us out on Patreon. There's a link below in the description. Or if it's easier, scan your phone right now on the QR code that's right here on the screen. Now make it a great day, and see you next episode.